out for about 3 weeks is Brad Keene. He'll bat cleanup play right field. Batting fifth, Mike Sullivan. He's the catcher, or the first baseman, rather. Batting sixth, the second baseman, Jeff Schulz. Batting seventh, that shortstop, Tom Horner. Batting eighth and catching is Andy Johns. Batting ninth and pitching is Mike Jordan. Jordan has a record this year of 8 wins against 1 loss.
And for the home team, West Fargo Patriots, a record of 30 and 25 on the year. Leading off and playing first base, Dave Baranick. Batting second, the right fielder, Blair Parfit. Number 3 hitters, the catcher, Brian Belstead. Batting fourth and playing third base, Darren Millar. The number 5 hitter is the pitcher, Sean Randall. Batting sixth and playing center field, Chad Clemenson. The number 7 hitter is left fielder, Russ Updahl. Number 8 hitter is second baseman, Tom Rowe. And batting ninth and playing shortstop is Jamie Shutt.
Sean Randall, the starting pitcher for the West Fargo Patriots. Randall has a record this year of 2 wins against 3 losses for West Fargo. And the numbers on Sean Randall.
And for Sean Randall, this is his 12th appearance in 11 previous games. Randall, a 1-loss record of 2 and 3. He's worked 39 and 2/3 innings, 39 hits, 41 runs, 31 earned, an ERA of 5.47. Randall's walked 38, struck out 19, 1 balk, 9 wild pitches, and he's hit a couple.
We'll be back as we get ready for the first pitch of the semifinal round, if you will, of the State American Legion Baseball Tournament. After this 2-minute timeout.
Concerned about your safety around rural electric power lines? You should be. The high level of energy delivered through these power lines is transformed to a level...
Today behind the plate, Jim Blasl from Williston, and out on the base path, the second base umpire will be Terry Jablonski from Dickinson. Down first base way, Howard Taggy of Minot, and down third base way, Jeff Risk of Minot. Jeff Risk, one of the umpires that'll work all 4 games the first 2 days of the tournament. He will not get his first break until tomorrow as far as the umpiring is concerned. Again, all the umpires attired in their dark blue, navy blue, or black sport jackets, with the exception of Jim Bosler behind the plate. He takes the sport jacket off to work behind the plate, and he dons the nylon windbreaker. So just like umpires of old, used to see the Major League umpires until a couple of years ago, even if it was 110 in the shade, they still wore the sport jackets. And with the temperature a little cool here today, 67 in game time, all the umpires putting on the sport jackets. Steve Molinari, the umpire that gets the break during this particular game. So the winner of this game will advance on to the championship bracket, if you will, and will play the winner of the Minot Williston game, which will follow tonight. Sean Randall on the mound, right-hander for the West Fargo Patriots. warm-up tosses. And the first batter he will face will be Raaum. Good news for the Bismarck Governors today. Guy that they've been playing without for the last several games, Brad Keene, suffered a knee injury. He's back in the lineup today. However, Steve Klein, the right fielder who's been taking his spot, has been hitting very well. Matter of fact, he had a home run in the Western Division tournament. Has been playing very good defensively as well for the Governors. So the Governors definitely strong in the right field position, as well as that number 4, 5, 6 position in the batting order, with Keene back in and Tom Klein now on the bench. John Randall completing his warm-up tosses. We're about set for baseball. Take us through the first couple of innings. Here's Dan Keating.
Brad Raaum, Troy Olson, and Mark Hummel for the Bismarck Governors in the top of the first inning. Bismarck 31-16 overall. Sean Randall just about done with his warm-up tosses. West Fargo defensively, outfield left to right. Russ Updog, Chad Clemenson, and Blair Parfit. Dave Baranick at first. Tom Rowe at second. The third baseman, Darren Millar. Jamie Shutt at short. Brian Felstead behind the plate. Sean Randall really getting a lot of warm-up pitches here as we get set to go. Brad Raaum making his way towards the plate. Here comes Randall's final warm-up pitch. Catcher Brian Felstead will gunner down to second. And we're just about set to get underway. Two teams have been eliminated, Washburn and Carrington. Fargo eliminated Washburn 19-2, first game this morning. And then the game just concluded about a half an hour ago. Jamestown sent Carrington packing by a score of 20-7. Brad Raaum in tournament play, 1 for 5, batting 200. And on the season for Brad Raaum, he's hitting .303, 44 hits and 145 at bats. Bismarck was a 7-5 winner yesterday over Fargo. Randall into the windup, pitch outside, ball 1 to Brad Raaum. And West Fargo defeated Washburn yesterday by a score of 18-8. Randall's 1-0 pitch on the way, outside, 2-0 the count. Randall, right-handed pitcher. Record of 2-3 on the season. Randall okays the side from Felstead. 2-0 pitch on the way is outside. 3 balls, no strikes to count. Brad Raaum. Dave Wolf, head coach for Bismarck, down the third base coach's box. Assistant Wayne Horner on the first base side. 3-0 pitch from Randall, misses outside. Brad Raaum draws the leadoff walk on 4 straight pitches. Raaum aboard. And a definite threat to steal. He stole 42 on the season. Swiped 1 base against Fargo yesterday. Brings up the left-handed batting left fielder, Troy Olson. Olson 2 for 5 in the tournament. A .400 average, 1 RBI. On the season, Olson batting .336, 44 hits and 131 trips. The first pitch to Olson, outside, ball 1. So on 5 pitches, Sean Randall is yet to find the strike zone, and third baseman Darren Millar comes quickly over to the mound to have a little chat with Sean Randall. Olson steps out for a moment, now stands back in. Randall works from the stretch. Baranick holds the Raaum at first, throw over to first. Raaum back in safely. Randall to the belt, 1-0 pitch, high, 2-0 the count, Troy Olson. Mike Foss, head coach for West Fargo, already pacing in front of the dugout. Randall to the belt, the 2-0 pitch on the way, a little bit low, 3-0 the count, Troy Olson. 7 pitches, Sean Randall's yet to locate the strike zone. On deck is Mark Hummel for Bismarck. 3-0 pitch is low. Olson walks on 4 straight. Randall walks the first too many bases on 8 pitches. And here comes West Fargo coach Mike Foss out to the mound. He wants to talk with his pitcher, Sean Randall, before Mark Hummel steps in. Breaking the action, top of the first. No outs, 2 on for Bismarck. Let's pause 30 seconds. conference over on the mound is Mike Foss heading back to the West Fargo dugout. Mark Hummel, the hitter. Hummel in tournament play, 1 for 4, a 250 average on the season. Hummel batting .469, 68 hits and 145 trips, has power, 11 home runs.
This is a situation you don't want to get one in Hummel's wheelhouse with the wind blowing. He can give it a ride.
And the wind blowing out to right. Hummel, left-handed batter. First pitch to him is outside. And right now, Sean Randall really struggling on the mound. He's throwing 9 pitches, and none of them have found the strike zone. Been close a couple of times, but most of them have been way wide. Raaum leads from second. Olson leads from first. Randall's 1-0 pitch. That's high and away. 2-0 the count to Mark Hummel. On deck is Brad Keene. I would guess on a situation like this, and Hummel is not going to swing till he sees a strike.
Think about it, that's absolutely right, but you know that Sean Randall is trying his best, and he's going to want to throw a strike pretty quick, and it's the kind that Hummel is going to tee off on.
Belstead hangs out the side. Randall to the belt, takes a look at Raaum down at second. 2-0 pitch on the way, outside again. 3-0 the count. Sean Randall really frustrated, shaking his head, doesn't quite know what the problem is.
He comes right over the top, right-hander. He kind of turns it over and has a natural tendency to tail away from the left-handed batters.
3-0 pitch on the way. It's outside. Hummel walks on 4 straight. So Sean Randall has walked the bases full. Raaum, the runner at third. Olson down to second. Hummel at first. It'll bring up the cleanup hitter, the right fielder, Brad Keene. Keene was came to the plate once yesterday and drew a walk. Eventually scored a run. Brad Keene on the season, batting .310. 26 hits and 84 trips. Brad Keene 1 home run. He's knocked in 18. Randall to the belt. Pitch to Keene on the way. Fastball inside. 1-0 the count to Keene. Randall still has not thrown a strike. Randall leans in. Okay is the sign from Belstead. 1-0 pitch on the way. It hit him. Brad Keene hit by the pitch. Hit him in the back. That'll force in a run as Brad Raaum comes in to score. So an RBI for Brad Keene. Here comes Mike Foss, and that's going to be the end of the line for Sean Randall. Second trip to the mound. They're going to make a change. Blair Parfit's going to get the call. And Randall will go out to right. So a pitching change for West Fargo. We're in the top of the first inning. Bases loaded for Bismarck. 1 run in. They lead 1-0. A pitching change. Let's pause for 90 seconds.
Your independent Goodyear Sales and Service Center is Harry's Tire and Auto Service in Williston. A good place to go if you need an oil change.
For the West Fargo Patriots, now pitching number Blair Parfit. Now playing right field number 18, Sean Randall.
Of low everyday.
Pharmacy is committed to offering your family lower health care costs. Stop in and pick up your prescription card. Then have your prescriptions filled. Present your filled card for a $3 discount on
Blair Parfit on in relief of the starting pitcher, Sean Randall. Randall did not record it out. He faced 5 batters. Parfit's 13th appearance, or 14th appearance. He's 6-5. An ERA of 2.69, 62 runs, 30 earned, struck out 36, or walked 36 and struck out 30. He pitched yesterday 6 innings, and he was the winner in relief.
Parfit's first pitch to Mike Sullivan in for a strike.
He gave up a couple of runs yesterday. Neither one of them are earned. He walked one and struck out 3 in relief yesterday.
Parfit makes the throw to third and gets past the third baseman Millar coming in to score Brad Raaum, and the runners will all move up a base. So a throwing error on Blair Parfit, and it's now 2-0. Bismarck with the lead. Raaum, or I should say Olson, was straying away from third, and Parfit made the throw. Thought the run would get in. So Troy Olson scores. And it's now 2-0. Pitch on the outside corner for a strike to Mike Sullivan. 0-2 the count to Sullivan. Moving over to third, Mark Hummel. Down to second, Brad Keene. Parfit leans in. OK's the sign from Felstead. 0-2 pitch on the way. Fastball high. 1-2 the count to Mike Sullivan. 2 runs in for Bismarck. Nobody out. They have runners at second and third. 1-2 pitch is swung on, hit high in the air to left field. Going back, Russ Updahl still going back. You won't catch it. It's on top of the clubhouse and then bounces into the softball diamond. So a 3-run homer for Mike Sullivan to clear the bases off. Scoring in front of Sullivan is Mark Hummel and Brad Keene, and it's now 5-0 Bismarck. Still nobody out. A 3-run shot for Mike Sullivan. That's what, about the 9th home run now we've seen today, I believe. 6 in the first game, 1 last game. And this would be the 8th home run of the day we've seen so far. Sullivan hit a high, towering drive on top of the clubhouse out in left field. So the bases are now empty, nobody out. Bring up the second baseman, Jeff Schulz. Closes the book on Sean Randall. We'll get to that in a moment. Parfit into the windup. First pitch to Schultz out of the way. Foul back in the screen. Sean Randall will not get credited for any innings pitched. He faced 4 men, retired nobody, no hits, 4 runs. All 4 were earned. Randall walked 3 and hit 1. Do wonders to a pitcher's ERA. The 0-1 pitch to Schultz catches the inside corner for a strike. 0-2 the count to Jeff Schultz. On deck is Tom Horner. 0-2 pitch, breaking ball, misses outside. 1-2 the count to Schultz. 5 runs in, nobody out for the Governors in the top of the first. They lead the Patriots 5-0. Parfit's 1-2 pitch, misses outside. Counts even at 2-2. Jeff Schultz steps out for a moment. Schultz in tournament play, a 1 for 3. 2-2 pitch from Parfit is swung on and pulled foul down the third baseline. Count even at 2-2. Jeff Schultz on the season hitting .313, 40 hits and 128 trips. 2-2 the count, Jeff Schultz. Blair Parfit into the windup, a 2-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed, and the ball gets away from the catcher, Brian Felstead, and reaching safely at first base will be Jeff Schultz. So that'll be a strikeout for Parfit, his first, and reaching on the pass ball on the catcher, Brian Felstead. He had no idea where it went. Is Jeff Schultz. So still nobody out. The way things are starting out for West Fargo, it looks like one of those days when things go wrong, everything goes wrong. Bring up shortstop Tom Horner. Horner, well, a pitcher yesterday, picked up the win in the game against Fargo, was 1 for 3. Pitch to Horner, outside, ball 1. Tom Horner on the season, a .323 average, 43 hits and 133 at-bats. Schultz leads at first. Baranick holds with him. Pitch inside. 2-0 the count to Tom Horner. Two balls, no strikes to Horner. Parfit okays the sign for Felstead. Runner off of the pitch. Schultz to throw down in time. Thrown out trying to steal is Jeff Schultz. Put out to go 2-4. Felstead to roll. To throw out Jeff Schultz. 1 away. First out in the inning. 3-0 the count on Tom Horner. Horner, the number 7 hitter in the order. On deck is catcher Andy John. 3-0 pitch on the way from Parfit, fastball on the inside corner for a strike. 3-1 to Horner. Horner steps out for a moment, now stands back in. Parfit's 3-1 pitch on the way, misses inside. Horner will draw the free pass. First walk given up by Parfit. Third walk, fourth walk given up by West Fargo pitching here in the first. The catcher, Andy Johns, will stand in. Johns appeared defensively yesterday, did not come to the plate. On the season, Andy Johns batting .237. Parfit, pitch on the way, swung on, grounder to the third, gloved by Millar, goes to roll at second for one, relay to first to Baranick in time to double up Andy Johns. So Johns grounds into a 5-4-3 double play to retire Bismarck. In the top of the first inning for the Governors, they come up with 5 runs on one hit, the 3-run homer by Mike Sullivan. There was one West Fargo error and no Governors left on base. Half an inning, the score, Bismarck 5, West Fargo coming to bat.
Alcohol.
It's Dave Baranick, Blair Parfit, and Brian Felstead to face Mike Jordan. Jordan, starting pitcher for Bismarck, record of 8-1 on the year. For the Governors, defensively, outfield left to right, Troy Olson, Brad Raaum, and Brad Keene. Mike Sullivan at first, Jeff Schulz at second, Mark Hummel at third, Tom Horner the shortstop, Andy Johns behind the plate. Dave Baranick, left-handed batting first baseman, stands in for West Fargo. Baranick was 4 for 6 in the win over Washburn yesterday. 3 runs, knocked in a couple, had a double. Swings the first pitch from Jordan and doesn't get it for strike one. On the year, Baranick batting .287, 29 hits and 101 trips, knocked in 16, 5 doubles and a triple. The 0-1 pitch from Jordan, slipped it foul and out of play left side. 2 strikes to count to Dave Baranick. On deck is Blair Parfit. Jordan into the windup. The 0-2 pitch to Baranick. Curveball high. 1-2 the count to Dave Baranick. West Fargo, a record of 30-25 on the year. 1-2 pitch swung on and missed. Baranick goes down on strikes. First strikeout for Mike Jordan. 1 up, 1 gone for West Fargo. Bring up the right fielder, or now the pitcher, started the game in right field, Blair Parfit. Parfit was 1 for 4 yesterday with an RBI. On the season, Parfit batting .307, 39 hits, 127 at bat, 21 RBIs, 7 doubles, 2 triples, and a homer. Jordan's first pitch to Parfit, breaking ball outside, ball 1. 1 out, nobody on, bottom of the first. Bismarck with the lead over West Fargo. 1-0 pitch is in for a strike, counts even at 1-1. Mike Foss, the head coach, down the third base side. Tom Wallet, the assistant at first. Pitch in for a strike. 1-2 the count. Parfit went halfway and it cost him. Mike Foss, after it was called strike, Jim Boston said no swinging. As we mentioned, went more than halfway. Parfit did. 1-2 pitch from Jordan, slow breaking ball on the outside corner, called strike 3. Parfit caught looking. 2 up, 2 down, and a couple of strikeouts for West Fargo. That brings to the plate the catcher, Brian Felstead. Felstead was 3 for 6 in the win over Washburn yesterday, so he's batting .500 in tournament play, a couple of RBIs. On the season, Felstead 68 hits and 159 at bats. Scored 36 runs, knocked in 46, 15 doubles, 2 triples, 6 homers. First pitch from Jordan, high, ball 1. Felstead, right-handed batting catcher. 2 out, nobody on for West Fargo, bottom of the first. 1-0 pitch on the way from Jordan, fastball. Down low, 2-0 the count to Felstead. 2-0 pitch on the way from Jordan, lifted foul behind the plate, it'll get out of play. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Waiting on deck is Darren Millar as Felstead gets something going for West Fargo here at the bottom of the first with 2 outs. Jordan okays the sign from Johns. 2-1 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss at a fastball. Count even at 2-2 to Felstead. Jordan can throw some pretty good heat. 2-2 on the way from Jordan. Fouled back our way and right above the booth. Lee Halvorson showed us how quick he still is.
Still got it. I misjudged it.
Every now and then we need one of those. Keep us on our toes. Not too many of them, though.
Bought one of yours, plenty.
Yeah. 2-2 pitch from Jordan. Fastball fouled off at the plate. Count 0-2-2.
I think I might have sprayed my thumb.
Moved pretty quick. Again, the 2-2 from Jordan took a little off the pitch and it rides high. Full count to Brian Felstead. 2 outs, nobody on for West Fargo. Bottom of the first. Bismarck the lead, 5-0. 3-2 pitch on the way. Big bender outside. Misses for ball 4. So Felstead's aboard as he draws a 2-out walk. First base runner for West Fargo. That'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Doran Schwartz. Schwartz 4 for 6 in tournament play. That's a .667 average. 2 runs scored. He's knocked in 4 with among his 4 hits, a triple. On the season, Schwartz batting .420, 71 hits and 169 at-bats, 33 runs scored, 40 runs batted in, 13 doubles, 2 triples, couple of home runs. Felstead, runner at first base. Not a real big threat to steal. 8 stolen bases on the season. Pitch outside, ball 1 to Schwartz. Schwartz, left-handed batting third baseman for West Fargo. 1-0 pitch, curveball outside, gets away from Andy John, throw down to second, not in time, sliding in under the tag of shortstop Tom Horner is Brian Felstead. Pass ball will be charged on the catcher Andy John. As that allowed Brian Felstead to get down to second. 2 balls to count to Darren Millar. 2-0 pitch on the way, lifted in the air to left field, coming in, Troy Olson. Olson still on the run, makes the dive, can't come up with it. Rounding third, coming in to score is Brian Felstead. And holding on at first with a single is Darren Millar. Millar a single to left, give him a run batted in, coming on to score, Brian Felstead. So it's now 5-1, Bismarck with the lead. A long run for Olson. He made the dive at the last minute and couldn't come up with the ball. A single and an RBI from Millar, the hitter. The pitcher, Sean Randall. Randall's first appearance in the tournament. Sean Randall on the year is a .290 hitter, 22 hits and 76 trips, 15 RBIs, 2 doubles, 3 triples, 2 homers. First pitch from Jordan, down low, ball 1. Bismarck the lead, 5-1, bottom of the first. Sullivan holds with Millar at first base. Jordan's throw over and Millar back in safely. 1-0 pitch on the way, swung on, little blooper up the middle. It's going to get into center field for a base hit. Making the turn at second, heading for third is Darren Millar. The throw, not in time, as Millar slides in safely. A little bloop single up the middle off the bat of Sean Randall. West Fargo now with runners on the corners and 2 outs. Second hit in the ball game for West Fargo. Center fielder Chad Clemenson set to stand in. Clemenson 1 for 4 so far in the tournament. Couple of walks. Clemenson on the season batting .261, 30 hits and 115 trips, scored 31, 15 RBIs, a couple of doubles, a triple, no home run. So the Patriots battling to make the score a little closer in the bottom of the first. They trail 5-1, threatening to add to it though. Runners on the corners and 2 outs. Jordan's first pitch to Clemenson, down low, ball 1. Clemenson, a right-handed batter, number 6 man in the West Fargo order. Millar leads up the line at third. Pitch is swung on. Line drive to third and it's gloved by Mark Hummel. Clemenson hit it on the nose, but right at third baseman Mark Hummel. For West Fargo in the bottom of the first inning, they come up with 1 run on 2 hits. There were no Bismarck errors and 2 West Fargo runners left on base. An inning complete. The score, Bismarck 5, West Fargo 1. The second inning for Bismarck. Mike Jordan, the pitcher, to lead off. Pitch is outside, ball 1 to Jordan. Jordan, the only man that didn't come to bat for Bismarck in the top of the first inning. 5-1, Bismarck with the lead. Blair Parfit into the windup, 1-0 pitch, down the third baseline, rolling foul. Mike Jordan. On the season, Jordan's batting .317. He has 13 hits and 41 at bats. He scored 12 and 2 doubles. Swings at the pitch and lines it into left field for a base hit. So Jordan punches a single to left to lead things off for Bismarck in the top of the second inning. Second hit for Bismarck. Starting pitcher Sean Randall walked the first 3 men he faced, then hit a man. He was relieved, and then the first man to face Blair Parfit, Mike Sullivan, launched a 3-run homer. So we go to the top of the order. And Brad Raaum walked his first time up, came in and scored when Brad Keene was hit by a pitch. Parfit and Randall switched positions. Parfit started in right, came out in relief. Sean Randall now the right fielder for West Fargo. Parfit will work from the stretch. Pitch on the way to Raaum is outside, ball 1. Dave Baranick holds with the runner, Mike Jordan at first. Jordan takes a walking lead over at first base. Parfit to the belt, 1-0 pitch on the way. Swung on, soft line drive, left side, drifting foul. Count even at 1-1 to Brad Raaum. Raaum steps out for a moment, now stands back in. Jordan leads from first. Parfit's 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss to the fastball. 1-2 the count to Brad Raaum. On deck is Troy Olson. Governors leading the Patriots 5-1, top of the second. 1-2 on the way from Parfit. It's outside, bounces in the dirt. It'll go to the screen, and that'll move up the runner, Mike Jordan. Wild pitch. Charge to Blair Parfit. First wild pitch by Parfit. First by West Fargo pitching. Count even at 2-2 to Brad Raaum. Down at second base is Mike Jordan. Had a leadoff single here in the top of the second. Breaking ball, misses high. Full cut now to Brad Raaum. I wonder how much Blair Parfit has in him for pitching today, as he worked 6 innings yesterday in relief. Parfit to the belt. 3-2 pitch on the way. Outside, Brad Raaum aboard for the second time by a walk. And it's second walk. Given up by Blair Parfit. Fifth by the West Fargo staff. Runners now at first and second. Nobody out. Left fielder Troy Olson will stand in. Olson walked and scored in the first inning. Olson 2 for 5 in tournament play. Jordan leads from second. Raaum from first. Olson swings the first pitch. Hits it high in the air to right field. Right fielder Sean Randall there makes the catch. Tagging at second and going to third is Jordan. Staying put at first base is Brad Raaum. So Olson gone on a fly to right. 1 out for Bismarck. Runners at the corners. Brings up third baseman Mark Hummel. Hummel walked and scored in the first inning. Mark Hummel 1 for 4 in tournament play. 1 hit, a double. Hummel, left-handed batting third baseman for the Governors. First 3 hitters in the Governors' order. Swing from the left side. First pitch to Hummel. Fastball down low. Ball 1. Jordan, the runner at third. Raaum at first. Parfit's 1-0 pitch to Hummel's pulled foul down the first base line. Counts even at 1-1. Pretty stiff breeze blowing out to straight center field. Yesterday, temp was in the 90s. Today, about 25 degrees cooler. Sun's out, really not a bad day. Pitch is swung on, hit high to left center field. Going back, Chad Clemenson. He won't get to it. It's going to bounce off the wall. One run's in as Jordan scores. Raaum rounds third. He'll come to the plate. Stopping at second with a 2-run double is Mark Hummel. If Hummel might have hit it to the right side instead of the left center field, he might have got it out of here. But nonetheless, a 2-run double for Mark Hummel as Jordan and Brad Raaum score, and it's now 7-1. Bismarck with the lead over West Fargo. Hummel now with 2 hits in the tournament, both of them doubles. One away and bring up the cleanup hitter, right fielder Brad Keene. Keene was hit by a pitch in the first inning, came in and scored on Mike Sullivan's 3-run homer when he was hit by a pitch, credited with an RBI as he forced in a run. Pitch to Brad Keene, misses inside, ball 1. So Keene now has been to the plate twice, but neither won an official at-bat tournament play as he's been hit by a pitch and walked. He scored a couple of runs. 1-0 pitch to Keene. It's swung on, a line drive to the shortstop. Jamie Shutt makes the grab for the out, flips it to roll at second, but they cannot double up Mark Hummel. He's back in safely. So Keene lines out to shortstop Jamie Shutt. 2 down, brings up the first baseman Mike Sullivan. Sullivan's 1 for 1, hit a 3-run homer on top of the clubhouse out in left field in the first inning. Sullivan is now 4 for 5 in tournament action, an 800 batting average in tournament play, and he's knocked in 5 as a double and a homer. First pitch to Sullivan, high fly to center field. Standing in his tracks is Clemenson, doesn't move, and he makes the catch. Sullivan gone in 1 pitch. That'll retire Bismarck in the top of the second for the Governors. 2 runs on 2 hits. There were no West Fargo errors, and 1 Governor left on base. Heading in the half, the score, Bismarck 7, West Fargo 1.
The motto.
Out of the second inning for West Fargo, bottom third of the order, 7, 8, 9 hitters. Russ Updahl, Tom Roll, and Jamie Shutt. 7-1, Bismarck with the lead as we go to the bottom of the second. Jordan's pitch on the way, fouled at the plate, strike 1, the count to Updahl. Updahl, so far in tournament play, he is 2 for 4. A couple of RBIs, one of his hits a double. And on the season, pitched down low, 2-0, or 1-1 the count to Updahl. On the season, Russ Updahl, batting .209, 31 hits and 148 trips. He's knocked in 21, 8 doubles, 3 homers. Jordan's next pitch swung on, slow roller, first base way, gloved by Sullivan, flips it to Jordan. And, wait a minute, I think we have a foul ball called here. And that's what it'll be. Ball must have hit in foul territory out of the batter's box. Both the ball and 2 strikes to count to Updahl. Had it been a fair ball, he'd have beat it out because Mike Jordan wasn't at the bag in time to make the put out. 1-2 the count to Updahl. The 1-2 pitch on the way, this time down the third base line. Glove by Hummel, fires it across the diamond. The throw brings Sullivan off the bag, but he puts the tag on Updahl. Updahl gone 5-3. Hummel to Sullivan, 1 up, 1 down for West Fargo in the bottom of the second inning. That'll bring up Tom Roll, the second baseman. Did not play yesterday. Roll, left-handed batter. Hitting 103 on the year, 4 hits and 39 trips. Swings and misses at the first pitch from Jordan. He scored 9 runs, 4 RBIs. One of his 4 hits a double. The 0-1 pitch misses outside. 1-1 the count to Rowe. 1 out, nobody on for West Fargo. Bottom of the second, 7-1. Bismarck with the lead. Jordan's 1-1 pitch on the way. Half swing. He held off in time. 2-1 the count to Rowe. Jordan's 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss to the fastball. Count even at 2-2 to Rowe. On deck is shortstop Jamie Shutt. Game 3 today. Williston and Minot will follow this contest. Swing and a miss. Rowe goes down on strike. Third strikeout for Mike Jordan. 2 gone, and the hitter, the number 9 man on the order, shortstop Jamie Shutt. Shutt 1 for 3 in tournament play, has an RBI. On the season, Jamie Shutt batting .172, 15 hits and 87 trips, 6 RBIs, couple of doubles. Jordan's first pitch misses inside, ball 1. Pitch outside, 2-0 the count. Winner here will play the last game tomorrow at 7:30. 5:30. Loser will play tomorrow afternoon at 4:30 against Jamestown. 2-0 pitch is inside. 3-0 the count to Jamie Shutt. Yep, loser plays Jamestown at 4:30 tomorrow. 3-0 pitch on the way. Fastball on the inside corner for a strike. 3-1 the count. Winner of this game will get the Williston Minot winner. 3-1 pitch is inside. It Shutt draws the walk. Second walk given up by Mike Jordan. He walks the number 9 hitter, shortstop Jamie Shutt. Brings up the leadoff man, Dave Baranick. Baranick 0 for 1. He struck out in the first inning, so he's now 4 for 7 in the tournament. A couple of RBIs and a double. Baranick, first baseman, left-handed batter. Jordan from the stretch, first pitch to Baranick, fouled back to the screen for strike 1. You're only up 2. At the bit. Pitch is laced down the left field line, foul. 2 strikes to count to Dave Baranick. Dan Baranick was also in the lineup for West Fargo yesterday, not in the starting lineup today. There's some new faces in there. Tom Rowe, one of them. Sean Randall, another. 2 strikes to count. Dave Baranick, 2 out. Shutt leads from first pitch, swung on it high in the air to center field. Backing up a step is Brad Raaum when he's there for the out. Baranick flies to center to retire West Fargo in the bottom of the second inning. For West Fargo, no runs on no hits. There were no Bismarck errors and 1 West Fargo runner left on base. 2 complete the score. Bismarck 7, West Fargo 1.
It's hot, the temperature is rising, and your comfort is wilting. Time for quality.
Parfit leaning in for the sign, and the pitch by the right-hander swung out, fouled at the plate. Strike 1 the count to Jeff Schulz. Parfit out in front, no balls, 1 strike to Schulz. Parfit into the windup, and the pitch on the way, misses outside. Count even 1-1 to Schulz. Parfit, the right-hander, on in relief of Sean Allen. He didn't go an inning, base 5 batters, didn't get any outs in the first inning. Parfit, one of the recruits from Tolna, faced 4 batters. Here's the pitch on the way. It's upstairs. Ball 2. 2-1 the count. John Randall walked the first 3 batters he faced, then hit a batter, and then Parfit came on and gave up a home run to Sullivan. Next pitch swung on, fouled out of play. Count is even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jeff Schulz in tournament play was 0 for 3 yesterday, and today he struck out, so he is 1 for 3 yesterday, so he's 1 for 4. His batting average now is .250. Schulz for the season for the Governors, batting .313. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way. Missed just a little bit outside, so the string is out to Schulz. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Outfield playing Schulz straight away. Parfit leans in for the sign. Parfit, a recruit from Tolna. He's played at the West Fargo Legion team for the past couple of years. Here's the payoff pitch inside, ball 4. So Schulz draws the leadoff walk. That's the 3rd given up by Parfit. And that brings up Tom Horner. Horner walked his first time up against Parfit. Horner, the winning pitcher yesterday for the Governors. At the plate, Horner went 1 for 3, knocked in a run, a double, and he had a couple of walks. Parfit leans in for the sign. Horner batting .323. There's the pitch swung on a number down the first base side. Gloved there by Baranick. Throws to second, and not in time as they try to get the double play the hard way. They had to tag the runner down there. It was not a force play after they touched the bag. So moving down to second base is Jeff Schulz. Horner's out. The first baseman unassisted. There's 1 down. Baranick took the 1 hopper, touched the bag, then threw down to second. The shortstop Shutt covering, but not in time to nail Jeff Schulz, who slid in safely. So that brings up Andy Johns. He grounded into a double play, 5-4-3, his first time up. Andy Johns, right-handed batting catcher. Parfit takes a long look in at the side. Right-hander kicks and delivers. Swung on, pop foul out of play left side, back behind the Bismarck dugout. Bounces in the stands. Strike 1 the count to Andy Johns. Johns yesterday did not have an official pitch. He stole the base yesterday. Andy Johns coming in to tournament play with a batting average of .237. That's where he's still batting. Here's the pitch to Johns. Upstairs, ball one, count even, 1-1 to Andy Johns. Mike Jordan waits on deck. 7-1, the Governors leading the West Fargo Patriots. Both teams were winners yesterday. Here's the pitch. And a curveball called strike caught the inside corner. So the count is a ball and 2 strikes to Andy Johns. Dave Wolf coaching at third. Wayne Horner down at first. We have action in the West Fargo bullpen. Here's the pitch from Parfit, missed high and away. So the count is even at 2-2. Parfit leans in for the sign. Takes a long look, warming up down in the bullpen for the Patriots is Eric Famias. The pitch swung on and missed, gets away from the catcher Fjellstedt. He guns it down to first to Baranick. Holding on at second base is Jeff Schulz. So Johns, a strikeout victim, and then a put out goes 2-3 for the second up. And for Blair Parfit, that is his second strikeout of the ball game. Eric Famias warming up down in the bullpen for West Fargo. Eric Famias is 5'10". That's right, throws right. Parfit from the belt, the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss as Mike Jordan went after a high fastball. Jordan singled, the bloop single out to center field. His first time up. Came around to score eventually. Bismarck leading West Fargo 7-1. Here's Parfit. 1 strike pitch swung on. A little looper out towards first. Coming on Baranick. He makes the catch in foul territory. So Jordan is gone as he pops out to Baranick, and that retires the Governors in the top of the 3rd inning. For Bismarck, no runs, no hits, no errors. There was a runner left at the end of 2.5 to score. Governor 7, West Fargo Patriots 1.
This land has been in your family for generations, and you want to keep it that way. But a lot depends on how you manage your risk. That's why crop insurance is so important. And this year, there are many improvements in the overhaul crop program, including the Extra Production History program that can give you extra protection. Federal crop insurance insures your wheat, barley, sunflowers, flax. 3 innings left.
Blair Parfit will lead it off for the West Fargo Patriots. He struck out his first time up. Parfit is 0 for 1. Parfit now in tournament competition is 1 for 5, a .200 batting average. Yesterday he was 1 for 4, knocked in a run, walked twice. First pitch to him is a called strike. Mike Jordan leans in for the sign from Andy Johns. Jordan, a right-hander, wheels and deals. Fastball, tip foul at the plate. Jordan throws a little harder on his fastball than does Tom Horner, the winning pitcher yesterday for the Governors. But much like Tom Horner, Mike Jordan changes speeds quite effectively. Probably doesn't have the slow breaking pitch, the off-speed breaking pitch that Horner does, but is effective on the off-speed stuff. Jordan, a right-hander, swings into the windup. The pitch on the way. There's an off-speed breaking pitch. Hopped up, shallow center field, a long run for Raaum, but he comes in and makes the catch. So Blair Parfit is gone as he flies out to Brad Raaum in center field. 1 down, that brings up Brian Felstad. Felstad walked and scored a run his first time up. Felstad was 3 for 6 yesterday, batting .500 in tournament competition. Felstad now the batting average of .428. 68 hits and 159 trips to the plate. Here's the pitch to him. Swing and a miss. He had a rip strike 1. Darren Millar waiting on deck for the West Fargo Patriots. Andy Johns hangs out the side. Jordan kicks and delivers a breaking pitch. Misses high and away. Count is even at 1-1. West Fargo a run on 2 hits. Bismarck Governors with 7 runs on 3 hits. Here's the pitch on the way. Swung on. Fly ball. Shallow right field. Long run for Brad Keene. He comes in, he let up, and then he came back in, and the ball falls in for a base hit, sliding into second. With a bloop double is Brian Felstad. So Brad Keene looked like he had a bead on it, then he looked up and saw that Jeff Schulz, the second baseman, was also coming out, and then Keene quit, Schulz quit, and the ball dropped between them for a bloop double. So Brian Felstad with his first hit of the ball game. That's the 3rd West Fargo hit. With 1 out, runner at second brings up Darren Millar. Darren Millar singled and knocked in a run back in the first inning. Brad Keene had a long ways to go, but he had it measured. And he quit as he saw that Schulz was coming out. So Mike Jordan pitching from the stretch now with Elstad at second. Here's the pitch on the way. Swung on. Bloop foul out of play. Left side behind the Bismarck dugout. Strike one the count to Darren Millar. Sean Randall, the on-deck hitter for the West Fargo Patriots. Millar steps out. Left-handed batter now stands back in. Millar yesterday was 4 for 6. So he is now 5 for 7 in tournament competition. Here's the pitch on the way. A fastball misses high and away. Count is even at 1-1. Millar batting .420, 71 hits and 169 trips. Jordan leans in for the side from Andy Johns. Playing Millar is a full hitter. Pitch swung on, fly ball, center field. Back going Raaum, has it measured, makes the catch. Tagging at second, heading for third is Velstad. The throw there not in time. Throw gets away from the third baseman, Hummel, but backing it up nicely is the pitcher, Mike Jordan, to prevent Velstad from going any further. So Millar is gone as he flies out to Brad Raaum in center. 2 putouts by Raaum in this inning. That's Raum's third put out to the ball game. They're 2 down, and it brings up the right fielder, Sean Randall. Randall blooped a single into center field his first time up. Randall, right-handed batter. Jordan pitching from the windup. Play first pitch to Randall on the way. Fastball misses high and inside. Ball 1. Randall did not bat yesterday for the season. Randall is a .290 hitter. Next pitch, swing and a miss. He had a cut. Count is even at 1-1. Mike Jordan, with a record of 8-1 coming into this game, leans in for the sign from Andy Johns, the right-hander. The 1-1 pitch on the way. A fastball low and inside. 2-1 the count to Sean Randall. Bottom of the third inning, 2 down, 7-1. Bismarck leading West Fargo. Loser out games today completed. Washburn and Carrington eliminated. Here's the pitch, misses low and away. 3-1 the count. Carrington eliminated by Fargo, 19-2. This is going to bring Dave Wolf out of the dugout. He's going to have a quick conference with his right-hander, Mike Jordan. Fargo over Carrington, first game of the day, 19-2. And then Jamestown came back to defeat Carrington by a score of 20-7. Both games shortened to 7 innings because of the 10-run margin. Three and 1 the count to Sean Randall. Jordan into the windup. The 3-1 pitch on the way. Swung on a grounder out towards short. Horner can't get to it. It rolls into center field for a base hit and an RBI single for Randall as the Patriots plate their second run of the ball game as Velstad comes across to score. So a 2-out RBI single by Sean Randall makes it a 7-2 ball game. That brings up Chad Clemenson. He lined out to Mark Hummel his first time up. He is 0 for 1. Clemenson yesterday was 1 for 4. Here's the pitch on the way to Clemenson. Randall bluffed. He didn't go. Pitch is low. Ball 1. Jordan pitching from the stretch with Randall at first. Randall edges off. Holding with him is Sullivan. Here's the pitch. Change-up breaking pitch and pulling it foul. Clemenson. So the count is even at 1-1. Randall back to first. Andy Johns hangs out the sign as head coach Mike Foss flashes a series of signs. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Mike Jordan took something off the breaking pitch that time, and he's out in front. The ball and 2 strikes to Chad Clemenson. Mike Foss down at the third base coaching box going through a series of signs again. Jordan from the belt. The 1-2 on the way, an off-speed breaking pitch. Clemenson way around on it, pulls it foul, and out of play down the left field side. So the count holds at 1 ball, 2 strikes to Chad Clemenson, and Randall will cut across the infield and go back to first base. Mike Sullivan will hold with him. Again, Mike Foss goes through a series of signs. Mike Jordan leans in for the sign. Randall off first. A good lead by Randall. Here's the 1-2 on the way. Swung on, popped up on the infield. Sullivan by first, makes the catch there. And Clemenson is gone as he pops out to Mike Sullivan, the first baseman. So that retires West Fargo in the bottom of the third. Patriots come up with a run and a couple of hits. There were no Bismarck errors. The Patriots leave 1, 3 complete to score. Bismarck 7, West So Parfit ready to go to work to Brad Raaum. Raaum, left-handed batter, stands in. First pitch high and inside, ball one. Raaum has walked twice. He scored twice in this ball game. Yesterday, Raaum was 1 for 5. Parfit okays the sign from Fjellstad. The pitch on the way, swung on, little pop-up. Foul territory down the third base side. Millar's there. He makes the catch. So Raaum is gone as he pops out to Millar, one away. That brings up Troy Olson. Olson walked, scored a run, flied out. He is 0 for 1. Yesterday, Olson was 2 for 5. So for the season now, Troy Olson batting .336 for the Governors. Olson, left-handed batter. Brian Fjellstad hangs off the sign for Blair Parfit. The outfield playing Olson straight away. Here's the pitch on the way. Swung on, fly ball center field. Coming on, Chad Clemenson still coming, and he's there and makes the catch. Olson is gone, flies out to Clemenson at center. So on 2 pitches, Parfit has 2 outs. And that brings up Mark Hummel. Hummel has walked and doubled, knocked in a couple of runs, scored a run himself. Mark Hummel with 11 home runs this year. He was 1 for 4 yesterday. So Hummel is now 2 for 5. Mark Hummel, left-handed batting third baseman. Parfit leans in for the sign from Fjellstad. The big right-hander kicks and delivers a fastball, tails away and outside. Ball 1 to Mark Hummel. Outfield playing Hummel as a pull hitter around the right. Wind is blowing across pretty briskly from left to right. Parfit into the windup and the pitch. Fastball misses away. Nope, they're going to call it a strike on the outside corner. Count is even at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Mark Hummel. Parfit okays the sign. The big right-hander kicks and delivers. Fastball, a missed upstairs, 2-1. Brad Keene waiting on deck, hoping for the Governors. Top of the 4th, 7-2. Bismarck leading West Fargo. Parfit swings into the windup. The right-hander delivers a fastball, missed low. It's 3-1 to Mark Hummel. Following this game, Minot against Williston. Parfit leans in again. The right-hander's 3-1 pitch on the way, a breaking pitch missed inside. They didn't give Hummel anything too good. He draws the free pass. He walks for the second time today. Hummel had 1 walk yesterday. He's now been walked 3 times. And that brings up Brad Keene. He was hit by a pitch, scored a run, lined out to Jamie Shutt at shortstop, so he is 0 for 1. Brad Keene batted once yesterday and walked. Brad Keene, right-handed batter. 2 outs, top of the 4th inning, 7-2 Governors. Parfit on in relief and has done a good job. Here's the pitch on the way. A fastball, missed a little bit. Nope, he's going to cut a little strike right at the knees. Strike 1 the count to Brad Keene. Keene, right-handed batting, right fielder. Parfit from the belt, looks over at first. Hummel edging off. Here's the 1 strike pitch, swung on, fouled at the plate. 0-2 the count to Brad Keene. Pretty good crowd on hand here for this morning and the early afternoon and the late afternoon session, even though the weather's not typically ideal baseball weather. 67 when this game started, overcast, kind of chilly and windy. There's Parfit's move to first, diving back in is Mark Hummel. 2 Class A teams have been eliminated. The only teams remaining in the tournament, Double-A teams. Class A teams will play off best 2 out of 3 to determine the state A champ. Here's the pitch on the way, swung on. Little lazy fly ball out to center field. Clemenson got a slow start. He will not make the catch. Bounces in front of him, throws it to the infield. And the Governors have runners at the corners as Hummel goes to third. Brad Keene aboard at first. Clemenson did not get a shot off the crack of the bat. And then West Fargo kind of goes to sleep. Taking advantage of that, Mark Hummel comes in to score. As Baranick and Parfit talking between home and first, and nobody had called timeout. Hummel took off, so he comes in to score. As I was saying, Clemenson at the crack of the bat started back on the ball. Didn't go nearly as deep as he thought it would, and then he had to come out a long ways, and he wasn't able to catch up with it. First pitch to Sullivan. Inside, ball 1. Harpet leans in for the sign. It's 8-2. The pitch on the way, a breaking pitch, caught the inside corner, strike called. 1-1 the count to Mike Sullivan. Harpet leans for the sign. He okays it. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way. Fastball fouled back into the screen. Ball and 2 strikes the count. The count to Mike Sullivan. Brian Fjellstead hangs off the sign. Parfit's throw to first. Getting back in is Brad Keene. Keene singled. Hummel went to third. Keene a bloop single out into center field. And then as Beard got and Parfit were visiting, Hummel decided to come the rest of the way. 90 feet and he scored. Here's the pitch. There goes the runner. It's upstairs. Throw down by Fjellstead. Not in time. Skips away. Goes out into center field. Center fielder Clemenson lets it go by him. He bobbles it. Going all the way to third base is Brad Keene. So Brad Keene goes to second base. Then they're going to charge 2 errors, one to the catcher and one to the center fielder on the play. Next pitch is down low, ball. 2-2 the count to Mike Sullivan with Brad Keene at third base. Harpet leans in for the sign. From the full windup, shakes off the first 2 or 3, finds one he likes. And the pitch on the way, swung on, a grounder up the middle. Cut off by the shortstop. Shot, throws it on to first, and they nail Mike Sullivan 6-3 on the putout. And that retires the Governors in the top of the 4th inning. But the Governors come up with a run on 1 hit. There were 2 West Fargo errors, and there was a Governor left on base. At the end of 3 1/2, the score, Bismarck 8, West Fargo 2.
So you backed into your neighbor's light post. Oh no, you feel like crying looking at your car's rear end. Or you didn't see that guy pull out. Honest. And bam, there was your front end. And that truck was cruising by you on that gravel road and wham, chips and cracks all over your windshield. Well, now what? Omni Body Works in Williston. They do body work, complete auto painting, glass installation, all with competitive prices. So after the wham, bam, and slam of your poor car, come to Omni Body Works in Williston, the first name in auto body repair.
Daryl's Travel Service of Williston reminds you there is still time to take advantage of low airfares. Through Daryl's Travel Service, you can get a round trip.
0 for 1. He grounded out his first time up. Jordan's first pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Opdahl grounded out to third. Mark Hummel back in the 2nd inning. Here's Jordan's pitch on the way. Fastball. Nope. Missed the outside corner. Count is even 1-1. Jordan okays the sign from Andy Johns. Here's the pitch. Swung on. High. Lazy pop fly. Left field. Coming on, Troy Olson. He's there at the line and makes the catch. Olson had a long run, but he was able to catch up with it. So Opdahl is gone as he flies out to Olson and left, 1 away. And we're going to get some action down in the Governor's bullpen. That brings up Tom Rowe, left-handed batting second baseman. First pitch to him. He pops it up on the right side of the infield. First baseman Mike Sullivan there, and he grabs it. So Tom Rowe is gone as he pops out to Sullivan. And 3 pitches, Mike Jordan has 2 down. Number 9 hitter Jamie Shutt steps to the plate. Shutt walked his first time up. Shutt in the tournament is 1 for 3, batting .333. He's knocked in a run. He's walked once. Here's the pitch to him. Breaking pitch misses inside. Ball 1. Bottom of the 4th inning, 8-2. Bismarck leading West Fargo. Jordan swings into the windup. The pitch on the way, swung on, lifted foul out of play right side. Count is even at 1 ball, 1 strike. Andy Johns hangs out the sign for the right-hander Mike Jordan. Jordan coming in a record of 8-1. Outfield playing straight away for Shutt. Here's the pitch on the way. A fastball, strike on the outside corner. Ball and 2 strikes to Jamie Shutt. Jordan has struck out 3. He's walked 2. giving up a couple of runs on 4 hits, and he's out in front of Shutt here. Ball and 2 strikes. Number 9 hitter in the West Fargo order. The pitch on the way, swung on, a hopper right back to Jordan. He gloves it, flips it over to Sullivan, and the side is retired as Shutt goes out 1-3 on the putout. So for the Patriots in the bottom of the 4th inning, 3 up, 3 down, nothing across. They go down quietly. 4 complete to score. Bismarck 8, West Fargo 2. So Vito Blasl making his first tournament appearance. He's on in relief for Blair Parfit. Parfit has 2 innings left in tournament competition, I should say, through tomorrow. Parfit has 2 innings left. So Blasl coming on to pitch. He'll face Jeff Schultz, Tom Horner, and Andy Johns, and here's Dan.
First pitch to Jeff Schultz is in for strike 1 from Vito Blasl. Blasl okays the sign into the windup. The 0-1 pitch on the way, foul at the plate. 0-2 the count to Jeff Schultz. Pitch is swung on, hit into left field. It'll fall in for a base hit. Jeff Schultz aboard of a leadoff single for the Governors in the top of the 5th inning for Bismarck. That's their 5th hit. Blair Parfit went 4 innings, about 4 hits, 4 runs. All 4 were earned. He walked 4, and Parfit struck out 2. Also a wild pitch charged to Blair Parfit. He relieved Sean Randall, who faced 4 men and got nobody out. Tom Horner, the hitter. Horner's 0 for 1. He's walked and grounded out. So Horner's now 1 for 4 in tournament play. Palazzo to the belt. Pitch on the way to Jeff Schultz. Horner with the single to center. So runners now at first and second. Shortstop Jamie Shutt dove for the ball but couldn't come up with it. Parfit leaves the game as Sean Randall remains out in right field. So the Governors have runners at first and second. Nobody out in the top of the 5th. Bismarck with the lead 8-2. Malazzo's pitch misses outside. 1-0. Vito Malazzo. 13th appearance. He's won 3, lost 2, worked 45 and 2/3 innings, 50 hits, 43 runs, 23 earned, 3.53 ERA. The 1-0 pitch, slow chopper down third baseway, gloved by the bag by Millar. Relay to first, not in time to double up the runner. The throw is a wild one that goes up the right field line. Will move the runners up second and third. So Schultz was forced at third by the third baseman Doran Millar. Andy Johns reaches on a fielder's choice, and Tom Horner ends up at third. Johns down at second on the throwing error on the third baseman Doran Millar. That's the 4th error committed by West Fargo. Palazzo in 45 and 2/3 innings, walked 33, struck out 8, 5 wild pitches. He's also hit a batter. Pitch swung on and lifted foul by Mike Jordan. It'll get out of play. Jordan's 1 for 2. Singled and scored run in the second. Popped out in the 3rd inning. He's also now 1 for 2 in tournament play. So Vito Malazzo, the 3rd pitcher used by West Fargo. Runners at second and third for the Governors with 1 out. The 0-1 pitch hammered into left field for a base hit. Scoring from third is Horner. Rounding third, coming to the plate is Andy Johns. Throw will not be in time. A 2-run single for Mike Jordan. And it's now 10-2. Bismarck with the lead. Hit number 7 for the Governors. Bring up the leadoff hitter, center fielder Brad Raaum. Raum's 0 for 1. He's walked twice and fouled out to the third baseman Doran Millar. Scored a couple of runs. Raaum now 1 for 6 in the tournament. Palazzo to the belt. Pitch on the way inside. Ball 1 to Brad Raaum. Vito Malazzo okays the sign from Brian Feldstedt. 1-0 pitch to Raaum. Chopper out to short. Played on the hop by Shutt. His throw to second goes into right field as they muff up the force out of depth. And going to third on the play is Mike Jordan. So reaching on the fielder's choice is Brad Raaum. Going to third on the throwing error on shortstop Jamie Shutt. is Mike Jordan. Second error in the inning, fifth error in the ball game committed by the West Fargo Patriots. Bismarck with runners on the corners, one out, and the hitter's the left fielder, Troy Olson. Olson's 0 for 2. He's walked and flied out twice. He's also scored a run. Troy Olson now 2 for 7 in the tournament. Malazzo's pitch to Olson, high, ball 1. 10-2, Bismarck with the lead. We're in the top of the fifth inning. Malazzo to the belt, 1-0 pitch on the way, high, 2-0 the count to Olson. Williston and Minot to follow this contest. 2-0 pitch on the way, outside, 3-0 the count to Troy Olson. Vito Malazzo so far has not proved much of a mystery to the Bismarck hitters. Malazzo to the belt. 3-0 pitch on the way, outside, Troy Olson draws the pass. First walk given up by Vito Malazzo. 8th walk issued by the West Fargo staff. So now the bases are loaded for Mark Hummel. They've been pitching Hummel pretty carefully a couple of times. 1 for 1. He's doubled. A couple of walks, scored 2 and knocked in 2. This time they can't pitch him so carefully. The bases are full. Malazzo from the stretch, pitch to Hummel. A little tapper back to the mound. Malazzo fields it, comes home for Felstead for 1. Relay to first in time for the double play. So a weak tapper back to the mound off the bat of Hummel turns into a 1-2-3 double play. As the runner from third, Jordan, was forced at the plate. And then the throw from catcher Brian Felstead down to Dave Barincott at first, doubled up Mark Hummel. And that retires the Governors in the top of the fifth inning. Bismarck comes up with 2 runs on 3 hits. There were 2 West Fargo errors and 2 Bismarck runners left on base. We're at the halfway point, 4.5 to score. Bismarck 10, West Fargo 2.
That's beautiful.
Just call the magic number 572-8688, and the magicians at Holland Auto Body can make your wish come true. Holland Auto Body in Williston.
Go to the bottom of the fifth inning, top of the order for West Fargo. Dave Barincott, Blair Parfit, pitches to Vito Malazzo, and then Brian Felstead. Count 2 balls and a strike. Oh, this is Blair Parfit. He must have stayed in the game defensively somewhere. Pitch misses inside, 3-1 to Barincott. 3 balls, 1 strike to Dave Barincott. Pitch from Jordan down low. Barincott will get the walk. Third walk given up by Mike Jordan. Blair Parfit is now in left field. So Updahl must have came out of the lineup. Means Vito Malazzo batting in Updahl's spot. Blair Parfit is 0 for 2. He struck out and flied out. First pitch to Parfit, fastball down low, ball 1. 10-2, Bismarck with the lead over West Fargo, bottom of the fifth inning. Sullivan holds with Barincott at first base. 1-0 pitch, curveball in for a strike. 1-1 the count to Parfit. Parfit steps out for a moment, then stands back in. 1-1 pitch, fastball down low, 2-1 the count to Blair Parfit. Parfit 0 for 2 today. He's 1 for 6 in the tournament. Throw over to first, back in safely is Barincott. Jordan to the belt, 2-1 pitch, fouled at the plate. Counts even at 2-2 to Parfit. On deck is Brian Felstead. Parfit stands out for a moment, now steps back in. Jordan's 2-2 pitch, swung on, lifted in the air to center field. Brad Raaum on the run towards right, makes the catch. Parfit flies to Raaum in center field, one away. Staying put at first is Baranick. Catcher Brian Felstead will be the batter. Felstead's 1 for 1. He's walked and doubled, scored a couple of runs. Felstead 4 for 7 now in tournament play. Steve Thompson warming up down in the bullpen for Bismarck. Pitch on the way, pop foul behind the plate, coming back Andy Johns, and he won't get to it. Johns at first turned the wrong way, and I think if he got in the right direction, he might have had a play on it. And possibly, if Bismarck, Dave Wolfman, will let Jordan pitch through the 5th, gets credit for a win, and if things stand as they are, we might see Steve Thompson save some of Mike Jordan's innings. 1 strike to count to Brian Felstead. Pitch from Jordan. It's fouled back our way. Here we have it's a baseball. If I wouldn't have moved, I'd have had a hole in my head.
I heard that rattle off.
2 strikes to count to Brian Felstead. 0-2 pitches outside, 1 and 2 the count to Felstead. The 1-2 pitch is swung on, roller to short. Gloved and then dropped by Horner. Gets the throw to second, though, to Schulz in time for the force out on Baranick. So Baranick 4, 6-4. Horner to Schulz for the second out. Aborted first on the fielder's choice, Brian Felstead. Two outs, runner at first base, Felstead. Bring up the cleanup hitter, Doran Schwartz. Lee mentioned earlier, we averaged 1 foul ball a year back here. We're good for next year already. Pitch to Millar, outside corner, strike 1. Millar, left-handed batting third baseman for the Patriots.
You always give me a bad time about clearing the alley. What were you doing down on the floor?
I was just getting out of the way. The 0-1 pitch swung on and missed. 0-2 the count to Millar. The person can sit here and have a pen in one hand and holding things. It might be a little different.
Yeah, it might be.
Not much. 0-2 pitch from Jordan upstairs. Ball and 2 strikes to count to Millar. 2 outs. Felstead's runner down at first. Sullivan holds with it. One-two pitch from Jordan. Let him pitch is outside. Counts even at 2-2 to Millar. Bottom of the 5th inning. Bismarck the lead. 10-2 over West Fargo. The 2-2 pitch swung on, lifted in the air to left field. Troy Olson coming in towards the line, makes the catch on the run. Millar flies out to retire West Fargo in the bottom of the 5th inning for the Patriots. No runs on no hits. There were no Bismarck errors. 1 Patriot runner left on base. 5 complete to score. Bismarck 10, West Fargo 2.
Now there's a new service being offered to you from
Tomorrow afternoon at about 4:30. Brad Keene sets the stand in to start things in the top of the 6th. Keene is 1 for 2. He's been hit by a pitch, lined out to shortstop Jamie Shutt and is singled. He's also scored a run and knocked 1 in. First pitch is down low, ball 1.
Oh, I missed my opportunity when that foul ball came up here.
What opportunity was that? 1-0 pitch on the way, misses inside, 2-0.
I've been waiting all day to say this, and I should have said it then. I should have looked at you and said, back, 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 back.
1-1 pitch, chopped down to third, played on a short hop by Millar, picks it up, fires it across the diamond to Baranick for the out. Keene gone third to first, 1 up, 1 down for Bismarck at the top of the 6th. I couldn't go back farther.
And that's true. You were pinned on the wall. Your nose print is still up there.
1 out, nobody on for the Governors. Bring up first baseman Mike Sullivan. Sullivan 1 for 3, a 3-run homer. First pitch from Milazzo, line drive into left field for a base hit. Sullivan with his second hit of the contest, hit number 8 for the Governors. So Sullivan aboard of 1 out. Second baseman Jeff Schulz will be the hitter. Schulz is 1 for 2. Struck out and then reached on a pass ball, and catcher Brian Felstead. He's walked and singled. So he's been a board off 3 times. Throw over to first. Sullivan back in. Dave Baranick holds with him. Throw over to first, and again back in safely. Sullivan. It still wasn't as good as when I got hit last year watching a softball game. And I was in the doorway.
No, you're just lollygagging then.
I was looking out the door watching the softball game. Got hit in the rib.
Got drilled.
Pitch swung on. High fly to center field. Coming on is Clemenson, and Clemenson's there for the catch and the out. Schultz is gone on a fly to center. 2 gone. Bring up the shortstop, Tom Horner. Horner's 1 for 2. He's walked, grounded out, and singled. He scored a run.
You carried thread marks with you from that particular hit for about 2 or 3 weeks, at least.
Horner, 1 for 2 today, is now 2 for 5 in the tournament.
Well, it was a fine stop.
Yeah, it was.
Kind of a thud.
You don't see him coming, it's easy to stop him. Throw over to first and back in safely is Sullivan. 2 outs, Mike Sullivan, the runner at first. To the belt, Malazzo, pitch bounces in the dirt. Rolls away from catcher Brian Felstead. Two out, Sullivan takes, waits to take his lead. Watches pitcher Vito Malazzo. Now Sullivan takes lead. 1-0 pitch, curveball, catches the inside corner. 1-1, the count to Tom Horner. Ball and a strike to count to Horner. Malazzo from the stretch, 1-1 pitch, missed inside, 2-1 the count. Waiting on deck if Horner gets aboard is Andy Johns. Vito Malazzo, third West Fargo pitcher used by head coach Mike Foss. The 2-1 pitch, roller down to third, glove there by Millar, goes to second baseman Tom Rogue for the force out on Mike Sullivan, so the force goes in.
Say, Dan, is it true that the outfielders don't do play-by-play and you guys don't field?
I'll buy that. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th inning. The 5, 6, and 7 hitters, Sean Randall, Chad Clemenson, and Vito Malazzo for West Fargo. Pitch from Mike Jordan, curveball down low, ball 1 to Sean Randall. Randall's 2 for 2, couple of singles, knocked in a run. And that's what he is in tournament plays. He did not play yesterday. Swings at the next pitch from Jordan, doesn't get it, count even at 1-1. 1-1 pitch from Jordan. Swing and a miss at a curve. 1-2 the count to Randall. On deck, Chad Clemenson. The 1-2 pitch from Jordan's outside. Counts even at 2-2 to Randall. Jordan's 2-2 offering on the way. Down low, full count to Randall. Jordan's walked 3, struck out 3. Pitch swing and a miss. Randall down on strikes. 4th strikeout for Mike Jordan. 1 up and 1 gone for West Fargo in the bottom of the 6th inning. Center fielder Chad Clemenson is 0 for 2. He's lined to third. To Mark Hummel and pops out to Mike Sullivan at first. Clemenson 0 for 2 today, a 1 for 6 in the tournament. First pitch from Jordan's down low, ball 1. Russ Opdahl, the on-deck hitter. Pitch in at the knees for a strike. 1-1 the count for Clemenson. Next pitch, fouled back. That knocked a piece off the press box. Matt Gruszewski, I believe, waving a white flag next door. Ball and 2 strikes to count to Clemenson. 1-2 pitch is swung on, hammered down to third, knocked down by Hummel, gets up, throws it across the diamond, throw high, pulls Sullivan off the bag. Everybody's going to be safe. I should say not everybody, but the runner at first, Clemenson, will be safe. Hummel knocked it down. It was a line shot, got up. By the time he made the throw, I'm not so sure he'd have got Clemenson. Now they're going to charge an error on Mark Hummel. Error on the third baseman, Mark Hummel. First error committed by the Governors. Clemenson aboard on the error with one out. I believe that might be the first error committed by the Governors in the tournament. Pitch is fouled back, and that one over towards the PA area. Fair is fair. We've got two our way. Everybody else should have their share. One strike to count to Russ Updahl. Vito Malazzo, the on-deck hitter, pitch down low. Updahl must have moved into second base where he played yesterday. 1-1 they count to Updahl. The 1-1 pitch, roller out towards short. Played on the short hop by Horner, flips it to Schulz for one, relay to first in time for the double play. Nice stretch by Mike Sullivan to come up with the throw from Schulz. So a 6-4-3 double play. They force out Clemenson at second, Horner to Schulz the relay, Schulz to Sullivan in time to double up Updahl. For West Fargo in the bottom of the sixth, no runs on no hits, one Bismarck error, no runners left on base, 6 complete. The score, Bismarck 10, West Fargo 2. Bismarck the lead over West Fargo to take us to the next couple. Again, here's Lee.
Andy Johns will lead it off against Vito Malazzo. First pitch to Andy Johns inside, ball one. He'll be followed by Mike Jordan. And the top of the order, Brad Raaum. Malazzo into the windup and the pitch on the way. Fastball misses high, 2-0. Andy Johns this afternoon, he grounded into a double play, struck out, hit into a fielder's choice. He has scored a run. Malazzo's pitch swung on, popped foul right back here by the official scorer's box. We're getting a bunch of them. That'll be charged as an error to Roy Clark. We'll give that one to Roy Clark. I was going to. I was checking. Here's the pitch on the way. Outside. 3-1 the count to Andy Johns. Johns steps back in. Here's the 3-1 pitch on the way. Swung on. Fly ball. Right side. Going to be trouble if it stays fair. It's in foul territory. Nobody can get to it. Baranick gave it a chase. The first baseman, he had a long ways to go. Tried to make it over the shoulder catch, but it landed about 5 feet in front of him. So the string is out to Andy Johns. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Vito Malazzo leans in for the sign from his catcher, Brian Pilstead. Malazzo into the windup, and the pitch on the way swung on a grounder out towards short. Jamie shot up with it. He guns it across the Baranick, and Andy Johns is gone. 6-3 on the putout. There's one away. That'll bring up Mike Jordan. Jordan this afternoon has singled a couple of times. He's knocked in a couple of runs, scored a run, and he's popped up. He is 2 for 3. Mike Jordan has helped his own cause considerably. We're at the top of the 7th inning, 10-2 the score. Bismarck leading West Fargo. Following this one, Minot and Williston. Malazzo leans in for the side from Pilstead. The pitch to Mike Jordan is low and away, ball one. Pilstead hangs off the sign. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the way. Fastball misses high and tight. 2-0 the count to Mike Jordan. On deck, Brad Raaum, the center fielder for the Bismarck Governors. Vito Malazzo into the windup. The pitch swung on, popped up out into short center field. A long run for Clemenson, but he's coming on and makes the catch. So Mike Jordan is gone as he flies out to Clemenson in center. 2 away. Brad Raaum stands in. Raaum has walked twice, popped up, hit into a fielder's choice. So he is 0 for 2. Raaum, left-handed batter for the Governors. Governors center fielder. Vito Malazzo leans in for the side. The right-hander kicks and delivers to Raaum. Breaking pitch misses outside, ball one. Outfield playing Brad Raaum as a pull hitter around towards right. Malazzo's pitch on the way missed outside. It's 2-0. Brad Raaum steps out, takes a practice cut. Now he'll step back in. Milazzo into the windup and the pitch on the way. A fastball misses outside, 3-0. So after getting the first two batters out, Milazzo falling behind Brad Raaum, 3-0. Nope, it's 3-1, excuse me, or 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch swung on. Now it's 2-2 as he fouls that one out of play. Count even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Troy Olson waiting on deck. Why not? Williston again warming up down the right and left field side. Milazzo leans in for the sign from Felstead. He'll KEYZ it, the right-hander into the windup, and the pitch on the way swung on. Line shot left side, but foul. So the count holds at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Winner of this game will go to the championship bracket tomorrow. Loser will play a loser-out game. Milazzo into the windup, and the pitch on the way. Fastball misses upstairs, so now the string is out to Brad Raaum. It's 3 balls, 2 strikes. Winner will play at 7:30 tomorrow evening. Pitch on the way, swung on, a grounder over towards first. Gloving it, Baranick. He steps on the bag, and Raaum is gone. Baranick unassisted. That retires the Governors. In the top of the 7th inning, 3 up, 3 down, nothing across. At the end of 6 1/2, it's stretch time at the ballpark. The score, the Governors 10 and the West Fargo Patriots 2.
Okay, so good day.
Bottom of the 7th inning. It'll be the new pitcher, and that is Vito Milazzo. So Vito Milazzo gets his first chance at the plate. The first pitch to him is outside, ball 1. Vito Milazzo, right-handed batter. Mike Jordan swings into the windup. The pitch on the way to Milazzo. This one misses inside. It's 2-0. Vito Milazzo's first trip to the plate came on in relief from Blair Parfit, who had relieved Sean Randall. Randall did not go an inning, faced 4 batters in the first. Here's the pitch on the way, swung on, fouled back into the screen. 2-1 the count to Vito Milazzo. Now we're going to get action down in the Bismarck bullpen. I believe it's going to be Scott Woodmansey going down there to warm up. Jordan swings to the windup, pitch on the way, misses low. It's 3-1 the count to Vito Milazzo. Jordan leans in for the sign from Andy Johns, and the pitch on the way swung on, fouled back into the screen. So the string is out to Vito Milazzo, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Waiting on deck is Jamie Shutt. Johns hangs out the side. Here's the payoff pitch on the way, swung on, fly ball, right field. Moving over towards center, Brad Keene there and makes the catch. So Milazzo's gone as he flies out to Keene and right. There's one away. That brings up Jamie Shutt. Shutt today has walked and grounded out. So he is 0 for 1. Bottom of the 7th inning, 10-2. Bismarck leading West Fargo. Jordan into the windup. The pitch on the way. A fastball misses outside. Ball 1. Following Jamie Shutt, it'll be Dave Baranick. Jordan kicks and delivers. Fastball, swing and a miss. Strike 1. Count is even at 1 ball, 1 strike to Jamie Shutt. Outfield playing Shutt straight away. Not exceptionally deep. Jordan okays the side from Andy Johns, the right-hander. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses upstairs. 2-1. Sun peeking through here a little bit as some of the clouds break up. Here's the pitch on the way. A fastball caught the outside corner. Strike 2 is called. So the count is even at 2 balls, 2 strikes to Jamie Shutt. Mike Jordan leans in for the sign. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way. Swung on, fouled off into the seats over the West Fargo dugout. So the count holds at 2-2. Steve McDonald will be the starting pitcher for Minot in the game to follow this one. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way. A fastball count is full at 3 balls, 2 strikes. Jamie Shutt thought it was ball 4. He'd started down to first base. So the string is out. Here's Jordan's payoff pitch on the way. That one is ball 4 inside. Jamie Shutt draws the 1-out walk. And coming to the plate is Dave Baranick. Baranick this afternoon is 0 for 2. He struck out, flied out, and he is walked. Jordan from the stretch. Baranick, left-handed batter. First pitch to him, misses low, ball 1. Baranick, the West Fargo first baseman. Mike Jordan pitching from the stretch. And there's the throw to first, getting back in easily is Jamie Shutt. 10-2, Bismarck with the lead over the West Fargo Patriots. Outfield playing Baranick as a pull hitter around towards right. Here's the pitch. He squares as if to bunt. Lets it go through it and caught the outside corner. Strike call. Count is even at 1 ball, 1 strike to Jamie Shutt. From the stretch, Jordan, the pitch on the way, swung on a little looper out towards short. Glove there by Horner, goods it back to Sullivan at first. He can't hang on to it. And getting back is Jamie Shutt. Shutt was way off the bag. Had it been a good throw from Horner, they'd have doubled up shot, but it bounced to the dirt. Sullivan could not dig it out. So Dave Baranick is gone as he lines out to Horner at short. There are 2 away. That brings up Blair Parfit. Parfit struck out and flied out twice. There's a throw to first, and Sullivan was not ready for it. It skips down the right field line, and going down to second base is Jamie Shutt. And Shutt going to try to third as Sullivan slow in retrieving the ball. He takes off, reaches third as the throw there is late. So Shutt making all kinds of things happen. And as Shutt slides in, he hits the bag pretty hard, and he's a little bit shaken up on the play. So timeout called on the field. The Packer, the Patriots, with 2 out, have a runner at third now. As they pick off throw to first, Sullivan wasn't expecting it. It just sailed away from him down the right field line. Then Sullivan went back to pick it up, slow getting it back to the infield, and Shutt kept going, and he headed right to third base. So Jamie Shutt at third with 2 outs, and at the plate is Blair Parfit. And so Jamie Shutt is okay. He's a little bit slow in getting up. Going to charge the error to the pitcher. The pitch to Blair Parfit is low and outside. 1-0 to count to Blair Parfit. Jordan leans in for the sign. The right-hander kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on, line shot out to Jeff Schulz at second. He gloves it. That'll take care of Blair Parfit. He lines out. 1 Bismarck error, 1 Patriot left on base. So at the end of 7, the score. The Governors 10, the Patriots 2. The pinch hitter will be Chad Boekes. So Chad Boekes, the pinch hitter for Troy Olson here in the 8th inning. First pitch to Boekes, a grounder out toward short. Shutt up with it. He guns it across the Baranick. Boekes is gone. 6-3 and 1 pitch. 1 away, and it brings up Mark Hummel. Boekes will probably stay in the ball game and play left field for the Governors. Mark Hummel up. Mark Hummel has walked, doubled, walked, and grounded into a double play. He scored a couple of runs. He's knocked in 2. Alonso into the windup. The pitch tumble, a fastball down the middle, called strike. Brad Keene, the on-deck hitter. Outfield playing Hummel around towards right, playing him as a pull hitter. Play pitch on the way, swung on, a grounder to first, right through Baranick down into right field. Hummel makes the turn at first, and getting the ball in is the right fielder, that'll be Randall. And so, Mark Hummel is aboard. Error charge to the first baseman, Baranick. A 6th error. And so that brings up Brad Keene. And there's a balk called out on Vito Milazzo, and they're going to send Mark Hummel down to second base as Milazzo charged with a balk. And that's going to bring Mike Foss out of the dugout for West Fargo. Now he's explaining it to Mike Foss, and Mike says, hey, he was in the set position. He bent the knee, and Jim Blasl explains that, and Mike Foss walks back towards the dugout. Now Jim Bosler is discussing it with Howard Tighe. Now they change their mind. It is not a balk, and they send the runner back to first base. So take the balk away, and the runner goes back to first. That is Mark Hummel. So Brad Keene stands in again. Brad Keene has been hit by a pitch, lined out, singled, and grounded out. There's one out. Here's the pitch to Keene. Fastball misses inside, ball one. Obviously, Jim Bosler saw the same thing that I did, and then the umpire at first base, Howard Tighe, overruled him. Next pitch bounces in the dirt. Mark Hummel will go down to second base on the pass ball then, or the wild pitch, rather. So a wild pitch charged to Vito Milazzo. And going down to second base is Mark Hummel. Count is 2-0 to Brad Keene. Now Mike Foss out visiting with the pitcher, Vito Milazzo. That's a short conference at the mound. Mike Foss heading back to the dugout. So Brad Keene stands in again. The count is 2 balls, no strikes to Brad Keene. Milazzo from the stretch looks at second. Here's the pitch, swung on, fouled back into the screen. 2 balls, 1 strike to count to Brad Keene. Waiting on deck is Mike Sullivan. We're in the top of the 8th inning, 10-2. Governor's the lead. There's one out, runner down at second. Mark Hummel, safe on an error, and then went to second on the wild pitch. Next pitch, swung on and missed, strike 2. Count is even at 2 balls, 2 strikes to Brad Keene of the Bismarck Governors. Governors batting in the top of the 8th, up by 8, 10-2. Milazzo from the stretch, the 2-2 pitch, fastball misses high, ball 3. Hummel aboard down at second base. Keene the hitter for the Governors. Milazzo leans in for the sign. Milazzo from the belt. Looks at Hummel. Here comes the payoff pitch. Swung on, popped up right side. Foul territory. Baranick. He makes the catch. Down by first base and holding on at second is Mark Hummel. So Brad Keene is gone as he pops out to Baranick in foul territory. And with 2 out, Mike Sullivan comes to the plate. Mike Sullivan, a 3-run homer. He's flied out, grounded out, singled. So he's 2 for 4. Milazzo from the set looks at second. The pitch to Sullivan, leaned him back inside, ball 1. Jeff Schulz, the on-deck hitter for Bismarck. Sullivan steps back in. Milazzo from the stretch again, and the pitch on the way missed inside. Count is 2-0 to Mike Sullivan. Milazzo from the belt. And the pitch on the way, swung on, fly ball, center field. Chad Clemenson going back, and he's there, and he makes the catch. So Sullivan is gone as he flies out to Clemenson in center. That retires the Governors on the top of the 8th. The Governors with no runs on no hits. There was a West Fargo error. The Governors leave 1. So, or I should say, yeah, the Governors leave 1. So at the end of 7.5 to score, Bismarck 10, West Fargo 2. And Jordan swings into the windup. First pitch, fly ball, center field. Brad Raaum going back, still going back. It's over his head. Bounces off the wall, 395 feet away. Felstad pulls into second base with a stand-up double. Felstad hit it hard, right on the nose to the deepest part of the ballpark, 395 feet away. It bounced off the wall. And so a leadoff double for Brian Felstad, his second double of the ball game. That'll bring up Darren Millar. Millar this afternoon has singled, flied out twice, 1 for 3. He's knocked in a ball one. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. 10-2. Governors with the lead over West Fargo. Blasl a leadoff double down at second. He edges off. Coming in behind him, Horner. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Count is even at 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 the count to Darren Millar. Jordan from the belt. The pitch on the way. Swung on. Line shot right field. Right at the right fielder. Brad Keene. He dropped the ball. Picks it up. A runner at second has to stay there because Felstead thought it was caught. So a line shot right at Brad Keene. He had to come out a couple of steps and then dropped it. So Darren Millar is aboard. An error on the right fielder. Runners at first and second. Nobody out for West Fargo. And the Patriots, or on the Governors rather, that is their 3rd error of the ball game. After having committed none through the first 13, 14 innings of the tournament. Here's Jordan's pitch on the way. Swung on. A high drive deep. Could be, might be. It is out of here. A 3-run home run for John Randall as he touched the first pitch to him from Mike Jordan over the wall, 325 feet away. John Randall with a 3-run home run. Scoring in front of him is Brian Felstead, and also coming on to score, Darren Millar. A 3-run homer for John Randall to make it a 10-5 ball game, and that brings Dave Wolf out of the dugout. And we're going to have a pitching change right here and right now. And the new pitcher will be Tommy Horner. He'll come on in relief, and we're going to get action down in the Bismarck bullpen as well. So pitching change, Tom Horner comes on in relief of Mike Jordan. 10-5 to score. Bismarck with the lead. 3 runs in for West Fargo, bottom of the 8th. Nobody out. Let's pause for 1 minute.
Your independent Goodyear Sales and Service Center is Harry's Tire.
Horner comes on in relief. He has 3 innings remaining to pitch. Going to short is Jeff Schulz, the second baseman. The new second baseman is Steve Famias. He'll bat in Mike Jordan's spot in the order.
And for Mike Jordan, he goes 7 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs. 4 of the 5 runs were earned. Jordan walked 4 and struck out 4. Tom Horner, his second appearance in the tournament, worked 9 yesterday and picking up the win, 7-5 over Fargo. Horner yesterday, 9 innings, 9 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned. In the tournament, he has an ERA of 5.00. Horner's walked 4, struck out 3, and was called for a balk yesterday.
And so the first batter that Tom Horner will face is Chad Clemenson. Clemenson reached on an error his last time up. Right-handed batter. Horner's pitch to him. A fastball misses low, ball 1. Chad Clemenson is also lined out and popped up. Nobody aboard. There are no outs. 3 runs in. Here's Horner's pitch to Clemenson. Fastball missed inside. It's 2-0. Tom Horner went the distance yesterday. Horner leads in for the side. That was when Bismarck defeated Fargo. Horner gets a sign from Johns. The pitch on the way. A breaking pitch missed up high. 3-0. 10-5. Governors leading West Fargo. Governors jumped out to an early lead. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Fastball missed low. Ball 4. Horner comes on and he walks Chad Clemenson. Governors scored 5 right off the bat to Sean Randall. Walked the first 3 batters he faced, then hit the 4th batter he faced, and then Blair Parfit came on and gave up a 3-run home run. A grand slam home run that must have been to Mike Sullivan. The first pitch to Vito Milazzo is a strike, and the pitch swung on. A high drive left field. Back going Olson, still going back at the wall. He makes the catch. Great running catch in left field by not Troy Olson, Chad Boekes, excuse me. As he chased it to the wall, turned at the wall, and made the catch. I think I said that was Milazzo. That was Russ Updahl who just flied out to the left fielder. So there's 1 down. To Milazzo. Horner turns to second, throws it out to Famias there. Relay to first, not in time to get Milazzo. So they get away. A breaking pitch misses low, and the dirt gets away from Andy Johns, but he keeps it in front of him, and Vito Milazzo. Here's the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, strike one. Count is even at 1 ball, 1 strike. Horner leans in for the side. Count is even at 1-1. From the belt, Horner, the pitch on the way. Breaking pitch swung on, fouled outside the bag at third. So the count goes a ball and 2 strikes to Jamie Shutt. Horner went the distance yesterday in the 7-5 win over Fargo. Got the win there. So after this inning, he'll have 2 innings left through Sunday. Horner from the belt, the 1-2 front of the inning for the Bismarck Governors. It will be Jeff Schulz, Tom Horner, and Andy Johns to face Vito Milazzo to take us through the 9th. Here's Dan.
10-5. Bismarck with the lead over West Fargo. Jeff Schulz on the afternoon is 1 for 3. Struck out, walk, swings the first pitch, grounder out to short, knocked down by Shutt, picks it up, throw across the diamond, not in time. So Schulz will be aboard on the error on the shortstop, Jamie Shutt. Error number 7 committed this afternoon by West Fargo. It's actually evening now. So Schulz aboard to lead things off for Bismarck in the top of the 9th inning. 10-5, Bismarck delayed. Hitter will be pitcher Tom Horner. Horner is 1 for 3. He's walked, grounded out, singled, reached on or hit into a fielder's choice. Scored a run. Pitch from Milazzo is outside, ball 1. Horner 2 for 6 in tournament play. Milazzo to the belt. 1-0 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, foul tip. Counts even at 1-1 to Horner. Off from first was Schulz, but a foul tip as Horner got a piece of the pitch. On deck is Andy Johns. Milazzo leans in. Okay, is a sign from Felstead. Now the throw over to first. Diving back in safely is Schulz. Williston and Minot will follow this contest. That game's slated for 7:30. 1-1 pitch out of the way, and excuse me swing and a foul over towards West Fargo coach Mike Foss, and it deflected off the screen and bounced off Foss's shoulder. Ball and 2 strikes to count to Horner. For Milazzo, he's starting his 5th inning of work. He came on in the start of the 5th inning. Pitch is down low, 2-2 the count to Tom Horner. Milazzo to the belt. 2-2 pitch on the way, swung on, grounder out to short, put in the hop by Shutt, flips it to second, Updahl for 1, relay to first, not in time. The ball bounces away from Dave Baranick. Down to back up the play is catcher Brian Felstead. So Schulz is 4-6-4, Shutt to Updahl for the first out of the inning. Horner, the runner at first, aboard on the fielder's choice. Steve Thompson will pinch hit for Andy Johns for Bismarck, which would probably mean we'll see Jeff Wolschlager behind the plate in the bottom of the 9th. So Thompson to pinch hit. Steve Thompson, his first plate appearance in the tournament. Steve Thompson, a 300 hitter. .36 hits and 120 at bats. Horner, the runner down at first base with 1 out. They took time to run the jacket out for Horner. Milazzo's pitch on the way, popped up behind the plate, coming back, Brian Felstead, the catcher, and Felstead makes the catch, falls down. Horner bluffs as if to go to second, now heads back. So Thompson gone on the foul out to catcher Brian Felstead, 2 out. Bring up Steve Famias in the game in Mike Jordan's spot as he entered defensively at second base, and they made the pitching change in the bottom of the 8th to bring on Tom Horner. Steve Famias yesterday was 0 for 5. And on the season, Steve Famias batting .215, 20 hits and 93 trips. Milazzo to the belt, pitch on the way to Famias. Left-handed batters inside for ball one. Famias, very excellent defensive ball player at second base. Milazzo to the belt, 1-0 pitch on the way. And at the letters for a strike. 1-1 the count to Famias. 2 out, Horner the runner down at first base. 1-1 pitch on the way, swung on, foul down the third baseline. 1-2 the count to Steve Famias. Ball and 2 strikes to count to Steve Famias. Horner the runner at first. Got aboard in the fielder's choice. Forced out Jeff Schulz, who had reached on an error on shortstop Jamie Shutt. Blaslo's 1-2 pitch. Chopper out towards short. Played on the hop by Shutt. Flips it to second baseman up off with a force out on Tom Horner. 6-4 on the put out at second base to retire Horner. That'll retire the Bismarck Governors. In the top of the 9th inning, Bismarck no runs on no hits. There was 1 West Fargo error, 1 Bismarck runner left on base. Go to the bottom of the 9th, the score, Bismarck 10, West Fargo 5.
At Gary Wendell Motors of Williston, they care about you, the customer. From the new and used cars and trucks on the lot to the service department, Gary Wendell Motors staff strives to offer you the best in quality. Gary Wendell Motors is your Chevrolet and Buick dealer for the area. Plus, you'll find
Horner pitched 9 yesterday, starting his second inning here, so he's now going to be charged with 11 innings. The game ends here. Pitch on the outside corner for a strike, 1-1. Horner would have 1 inning that he could throw tomorrow. 1-1 pitch from Horner, swing and a miss by Baranick. 1-2 the count to Dave Baranick. Baranick is 0 for 3. Struck out, flied out, lined out. He's also reached on a walk. The 1-2 pitch way outside, counts even at 2-2. 2-2 pitch is chopped the ball at the plate, count 0-2-2. Jeff Wolschlager, the new catcher for the Governors. Placing Andy Johns. Thompson batted for Johns. Bismarck defense for the outfield left to right is now Chad Boekes, Brad Raaum, and Brad Keene. Mike Sullivan at first. Steve Famias down at second. Jeff Schulz at short. Hummel at third. Pitch is swung on, hit in the air to left field. Left fielder Chad Boekes towards the line makes the grab. Baranick flies to left, 1 up, 1 down for West Fargo in the bottom of the 9th inning. Bring up the left fielder, Blair Parfit. Parfit is 0 for 4. He struck out, flied out twice, and lined out. Parfit started the game in right field, then came on and relieved the pitch, now is in left field. Parfit now 1 for 8 tournament play. First pitch from Horner, misses inside for ball 1. One-0 pitch from Horner. In at the knees for a strike. Count even at 1-1 to Parfit. 1 out, nobody on for West Fargo. Bottom of the 9th inning. Patriots trailing by 5, 10-5. Horner's 1-1 pitch. Slow roller down the first base line. Rolls foul. 1-2 the count to Parfit. Catcher Jeff Wolschlager, pitcher Tom Horner, and first baseman Mike Sullivan were all giving chase on the roller down the line by Parfit. One-two pitch from Horner, drops down sidearm. Parfit lines it into right field for a base hit. So Parfit aboard with a single. 7th hit in the contest for West Fargo. Parfit aboard with 1 away. It'll bring up the catcher, Brian Felstead. Felstead is 2 for 3. He's walked, doubled, reached on a fielder's choice and doubled. He scored 3 times. Felstead now 5 for 9 in the tournament, a .556 average. First pitch on the way, roller out towards short, put on the high hop by Schulz. Flips it to Famias for 1, relay to first to Sullivan in time half of the double play. Good defensive work by the Governors as Felstead grounds into a 6-4-3 double play to retire West Fargo in the bottom of the ninth, and that's the ball game. The final score: Bismarck 10, West Fargo 5. I'll be back for final total in 2 minutes.